fuck? What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a review for The Oval on BET Season 4, Episode 16. The episode is titled Problem Diverted, you guys. So before we go ahead and just get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and aren't subscribed to the channel yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out in this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss The Oval on BT, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, we open up where we left off last week with Nancy and Richard right after the Rackadoochies have left the house, and mother, don't talk to the highest like that. God, that woman's acting was terrible, right? So Nancy was talking about, they were so nice, Richard. I was like, the same people that broke into your house and kidnapped your granddaughter were nice to you? Okay, sis, I mean, I guess, right? Even Richard was like, they were nice to you. They kidnapped Callie. She's like, they did. But, you know, they took me back to their camp. I went there and I saw Ruth. Callie is so happy. Ruth is too. Ruth had told them that Barry had been abusing her, and I told them that that wasn't true. I was like, okay, spaced out. She is spaced out, right? Richard was like, girl, we get your stuff and let's go to the hospital. She was like, well, what? He was the guy. So Richard was like, yeah, I'm gonna take you to the hospital because I think they slipped you something, like slipped you a little bit of a Mickey, right? And this was like, I'm not high. I'm like, girl, I don't care who tell it, because I thought Richard was looking at her eyes. I'm like, is her people are her pupils dilated? Because I'm like, that's why I thought he was going to say your pupils are dilated, but he didn't say that. So we move over to Sharon. So you guys remember in last week's episode that Sharon and Dale went over to Kareem's house, right? Because Sharon wants to know why Kareem doesn't want him there. Now, I didn't notice it until this week's episode that, yeah, Barry is very much so not among the living, right? Because Brotman got a gash on him. Brotman has some blood on his head. I was like, oh, they really did take Barry out. Poor Barry. He is still in the opening credits. He's still in the opening credits, though. He's still in the opening credits. I'm pretty positive that he is still in the opening credits. I'm almost positive I saw Barry in that opening credits, but that's neither here nor there, right? So they went to the door. She told Kareem to let her in. She's like, well, I got a key. So she opened the door. Kareem stopped her from opening the door. She was like, Kareem, you got somebody in there with you? If he does, y'all ain't together, because I mean, let's not even talk about them like that, because y'all know how I feel about that relationship, how they go back and forth, and it annoys me, right? But basically, Kareem told her, like, Sharon, I will talk to you later. Like, get out of here, right? And she was like, he's rude. And, you know, Dale was like, yeah, maybe we should go. I'm like, yeah, maybe you should go, right? I feel like somebody's going to see them with this body. And I still just don't believe it. I don't believe that that's Barry. Part of me is saying that that's not Barry. Because we've never saw the face. Wait, did we see the face at one point? But, no, I don't know. Let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys, so we move over to the hospital. So you remember in last week's episode that Donald wanted the cop to let Lily go, right? The cop told Donald that, no, she's not going anywhere, right? So remember, he called Kyle to come to the hospital. So Kyle showed up to the hospital, and he's basically telling him, like, so I'm trying to get Lily out of here, but this cop won't let me take her, right? So the cop comes out, and Kyle shows him his badge. He's like, I'm Secret Service. He was like, okay, who cares about that, right? So he says, can you let her go? He says, not until the doctor releases her. So he says, can I, we want to take her. He says, no, not until the doctor takes her, releases her, right? So Donald gave him a look, and pop, he throat checked him, right? And he handcuffed him. I was like, so y'all really gonna do this in the hospital? I don't know where this show is going, and I'm really trying to figure it out because I just don't know where this show is going. Because granted, Kyle is Secret Service, but just like with Hunter, just because you're the president, you're not above reproach or being handled. Like, presidents have been impeached. Nixon, Watergate, fat ass, insurrection. And then with the Secret Service, you're not like, if to me it feels like they feel, each and every one of them feel like they are above the legal system, right? Yes, you have a badge, but if you commit a crime, then there are repercussions for the, okay, neither, all right. So Donald went back into the room and told Lily, get your stuff and let's go. She says, where's the doctor? He said the doctor will be at the house. I'm like, I know you're not talking about that veterinarian that lost his license, not him. So she says, I'm not leaving until we get to see a doctor. He says, I'll stick my finger in that one. I'm like, oh my God. But Donald, you have a wound as well. Sometimes I wonder when Tyler Perry be writing these shows, that he forget the things that he's written previously, right? Because Donald, sir, you got shot yourself, right? But Donald is walking around as if he never got shot. Okay. Then she asked where the officer was. He asked her, why does she care? She says he seems like a nice guy. So eventually they got her out of the hospital. I was like, oh my God. These never-ending scenes with Lily and Donald. Let's pause here and move forward. Y'all, why is Miss Jody always outside at night? Miss Jody is always outside at night. So Sharon and Dale make it to the house. They ain't there. Yeah. Those people came here in those purple gowns and they left, 3 of them. And one of them was in a white one. And Richard and Nancy, they left. You got a key to get in? I used to have a key, but Nancy took it from me. Why did Miss Nancy take the key from me? Well, I went in the house a few times. Wait a minute. Wait, Miss Jody. You went into her house a few times just to look around. Oh, Miss Jody. I like Miss Jody at times, but then Miss Jody is a negative stereotype of older black women. Miss Jody is a negative stereotype against older black women. That all older black women, they just sit at home all day. And she's always outside at night. She's never outside during the day. It's always at night. It's always nighttime when we see Miss Jody. Well, never mind. I'm just going to leave it at that, right? So she asked Sharon, who was the white boy? Well, ain't you with Barry? Who is that white boy? The white boy is gay. He doesn't like women. So they went inside and Sharon called Richard. Richard told her they were at the hospital and that basically is just getting Nancy checked out, right? So then Richard went into the room where Nancy is. So the doctor came in. He said everything checks out, but he had a drug test done and he says it's going to be a while before we get those results. So you two are free to go and I'll give you guys a call when we get the results, right? So Nancy and Richard, they left, but I'm like, y'all ain't gonna put a rush on that drug test because this woman does look like she's on something. She looks like she's high off of something not so good, right? You guys, I'm really trying to breeze through this because this episode really, to be quite honest with you guys, it didn't give nothing. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys, so next up we got Simone and Eli. So Simone, she's getting ready to go somewhere for the day. I don't necessarily know where she was going. She said where she was going, but I wasn't really listening, right? Eli, he's getting ready to go to the White House, right? So Simone asked for Bobby to be on her detail today, right? And he was like, why Bobby? She's like, well, I saw the way you looked at Bobby. When Bobby's around, you buck your chest up, right? So you don't really like him. He says, no, he says, it's not that. And I'm like, okay, I couldn't care less. So he says, and she's like, I know you like Max better. So we see Max and Bobby outside, and Max is talking to Bobby about the situation with Priscilla. He said, she came on to him. Granted, she did come on to you, but you did not have to reciprocate. And so Eli comes outside and he tells Bobby, like, you're going to be with Simone today, and Max, you're with me. And Max did this to Bobby. I was cracking up. So Bobby went back inside where Simone is, right? So Simone says, did you think about what I talked to you about last night? He said, yes. He said, but the answer is no. So she said, you're not going to help me? He says, I don't think that's wise or smart or whatever the hell he said, right? So she said, well, did you tell Eli what I told you? He says, no, I didn't. He says, but I'm still not gonna, help you. I was like, that makes no sense to me. So his wife thinks that there's something being hidden. You and Max and Sam and everybody else think there's something being hidden. His wife wants to work with you, but you don't want to work with her. I don't understand how that makes sense to me. Like logically, I'm trying to sit here and think, how does that make sense, right? I mean, I guess I can kind of see how it would make a little bit of sense, right? Because she is his wife, so he doesn't know what to trust and believe. I'm going to go with that sentiment, but even still, it just makes no sense to me, you guys. That's why I say I don't know what the direction of this show is. The Oval and Sisters for me is starting to turn into the haves and the have-nots, right? It's really getting to the point where with the haves and the have-nots where there were storylines that were never finished with the haves and the have-nots, and then there were things that we would introduce new things that just didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm starting to feel like I felt toward the when I was watching the haves and the have-nots. And I'm hoping and praying when these shows, oh my God, especially this one, for the love of God, do not let Tyler end this show as horribly as he ended the haves and the have-nots, right? I have not gotten over that series finale of the haves and the have-nots. What was the purpose? I mean, he literally just unlived every character except for Hannah. But yeah, you guys, let's pause here and go ahead and move forward, you guys. So next up, Richard, it's the next morning. So Richard is talking to Sharon, right? He's getting ready to go to work. And he's basically telling Sharon, like, hey, please keep an eye on Nancy for me, right? Because he says she went over there to the record. She says, like, and she says something. He's like, you knew about this? She said, well, she got the address. I didn't think she was going to really go over there, right? So as he left out, he called Sam up and he told Sam basically what the one that they called the Hyatt told him that they took out Barry, right? So Richard's like, you better get him or I'm going to go in there and get them. I'm like, Richard, I don't know if he should do that, right? I want you guys, again, you guys, I asked you guys last week, and I'm asking you guys this. I've asked you for the last few weeks about the Ruthless stuff, right? Can you guys clue me into some things about Ruthless? Because I asked this question last week, but nobody really got in the comments about it. On Ruthless, because I feel like I've heard this before, but on Ruthless, is she working undercover to bring down the Rackadushis? Let me know that in the comment section. I really do want to know that answer. Is she work? Because I've heard that, but I don't remember where I've heard. I'm pretty sure I've saw it in my comments, or maybe I read it somewhere. I don't know. But let me know in the comment section. Is Ruth working with the FBI? Because I remember, the episodes that I did watch of Ruthless, I remember that there was a black cop or FBI agent, right? He was the one that his wife snuck into the Rackadushis, and they, blew that pain in her face, right? And then she woke up drugged, right? But correct me if I'm wrong about any of this stuff. But yeah, but again, let me know in the comment section. Is she working undercover? I don't know. But we see Priscilla. So Priscilla came out. Priscilla found it funny that Sam got his ass beat by Bobby, right? He was like, you wait till I'm 100%. I'm like, and what's gonna happen, Sam? So he was like, basically telling her she effed up from bringing Bobby to her home. And she's like, but you had sex with her in the yellow room. I was like, exactly. I'm not sitting here, defending what Sam did, and I'm not going to sit here and defend what Priscilla did. Two wrongs don't make a right, right? So he called her a simple bitch. I was like, well, I be. And then he told her he wants a divorce. You can get served here or at the White House. I was like, Sam, you're doing a lot, buddy, but you were just trying to get her back. But neither here nor there, right? And he told her basically, if you bring him back here again, I'm going to blast him and I'm going to blast you. She was like, bitch, I got a gun too. I was like, oh, okay. So then after Sam left, I think his name is David. He called Sam up to tell him that he found Jason, but also some of the Secret Service has found him as well, right? Let's pause here and wrap up this episode. So Victoria, she went to go wake up Hunter, and Hunter does not want to get up. Donald came in, told them that he found out where Jason was. This scene was a lot of back and forth. He doesn't trust them because he feels like they're working together. And I'm like, but he just told you that they found Jason. What are they working together about, right? So she wanted him to go to the Oval Donald wanted him to come to the Oval. He's going to stay in the bed and sleep. I was like, what presidential duties has he done since he's been in the office? Okay, never mind. So Donald also tells them that they have, they know where he is. They found that there's a friend that he knew in high school, and Victoria's like, yeah, his parents those parents hate Jason, right? Well, then he says he's probably, and then my assistant lives there, right? So they have a strike team that's ready to go in. So we move over to Alan and Alonzo. They wake up, and Alonzo calls Sam. Sam and Alonzo were going back and forth. He was like, you need to come here. He was like, why? I was like, oh my God, he got a package. Will you just tell him what the damn package is? Jesus the Christ. So he texts him the address. Sam saw the address. I guess he know about the address because of David. He told them that they got to get out of there. Before they could get out of there, Kyle them bust in and, threw a smoke bomb in. And that's where the episode ended. Very anticlimactic episode, right? Nothing happened. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section below. Was it just me that didn't find anything that came from this episode? Get down in the comments, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.